So what I want to know from you is what were your biggest mistakes along the way? Because you say, oh, this thing doesn't work and that thing doesn't work. So how you said the eyelashes then didn't perform and like you had all of the print on demand was even worse. Like what would you now afterwards say were your biggest mistakes on that way?
So basically, so either it was me not finishing it, like not setting the store up the way it should be, like leaving out some stuff and thinking it's good enough just to give it a try, right? And then the try didn't go too well, and then not going back and putting in more work. So that was one part. And the other one, like for example, the eyelashes, they were top sellers on Amazon for quite a while, and they were working so nicely, but the product was not too good. And it's most of the time it just comes back to the product and the lead times. Because with the eyelashes I had, like, it was magnetic eyelashes, and the magnets were not like sticking to the lashes. Like the glue was bad, but there were other brands that were able to make it stick. So it was kind of a supplier problem. And back then, I didn't know that there are people who do sourcing and they take care of these things and so on. Only thing I knew was like I went to Upwork and I hired a sourcing agent, like a private person that helps you sourcing in China. And they got me some suppliers, but it was not good enough, and I didn't put in more work and effort, and that's how this ended. And the same thing with print on demand. I spent so much time trying to find suppliers who can like print on phone cases and send them out quickly, and I just couldn't find any. And like I told you, I didn't know about sourcing too much. And in Germany we don't produce stuff, and if we do, it's like super expensive. So you don't sell stuff from Germany. You obviously sell from China and other countries. And I think like product is a big thing. If I had better product, many of these things I would have like held on to.
And you mean better products in terms of you don't mean winning products. Like it's not about okay, I didn't
No,
have
no,
the
no.
right product. You mean the quality, right? You mean
Yeah.
you mean anything that comes from the supplier, whether that is supplier communication, whether that is the actual quality, whether that is shipping times, all of these factors. You mean, right?
Right. And that's why if you remember when we met, I told you that your service, like, I don't think it's a lot of money. It's like perfect. I was expecting even more. And that's because now I know about the whole issue with sourcing and products. But if I don't know, if like 3 years ago you would have told me about your service, I maybe wouldn't have seen the value, because I would have thought sourcing is easy. Like
Oh yeah,
you do
100%, 100%.
AliExpress, like, right? Oberlo, it's super easy. You don't even need guys like you. But after the experience I have now, I'm like, this is one of the major parts.
I have not been a good sourcing company when I just started out. I was really not good because of all the things I told you. Like I was just a dude sitting there without a team, without an office, without anything, and just working with some freelancers. Yeah, we'll store it in our warehouse and then we will bundle it there. And like all of these things that
Like all of
you
us,
like, yes,
me and
like
my
fake it
team.
till you make it. Yes. So the cat
Right.
runs through. It's like, yeah, me, my assistant here. I even went so far, like back then we had, like sometimes people complained, right? It's like, hey, I didn't get a reply for a few days. And then I sent back an email from a different email address from, that wasn't like Niels at whatever
Wow.
it was back then, but it was like Nancy. And then Nancy messaged and it's like, hey, I'm Niels' assistant. I'm very sorry, like blah, blah, blah. And then I went back to the customer later and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll take care that Nancy replies you quicker next time. And all of these
Wow.
things. And just kind of faked it back then. That's also the reason why we didn't charge a
But
lot.
this sounds kind of sad in the beginning, but there's no way, like, no one starts any different. Like there's no born expert, and that's the issue for everyone who's starting dropshipping or who wants to become good at e-commerce. There are like 90% are scammers. I wouldn't even name them scammers. Like there are some scammers, but then there are some just bad people, just people who start out, they're trying their best, they're doing the best, but they're beginners. And then you just have to identify like the diamonds between all of these,
Right, and that is so
that's a
hard. I mean,
hard thing to do if you're
yeah,
new.
if you don't know, you just don't know. Like, how do you know that a general dropshipping store doesn't work when you don't know what it is? Like, it's
There's
so
no
hard
way.
to, it's so hard to identify all of these things. So it's really important to make your research and work with people that have a proven track record. You can see more about that. It's not just like there are a lot of offers, and a lot of people don't mean bad. Like they don't even mean to scam you, but they just don't give you the right advice because they don't know better, but they believe it's the right thing, right? Because they've seen it somewhere. And it's just so hard to find the right mentors and people to work with to advance to the next levels, right? You just really need someone who's been there before. And I have my mentors the same way that my mentor has his mentors, so it kind of
Right.
goes
No
goes
one's
all that way,
perfect.
right?
Yeah, that's good. Everyone has to keep learning forever. And if your mentor is not learning from other mentors, then is he really a good mentor? So there's no one knowing it all. You just have to like dig deep and get into the rabbit hole and just try to find the best information you possibly can.